Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. And we're playing this time Tiny Bunny. It is a novel kind of game, or not graphic novel, set in like a gaming kind of thing. And we are following not so linear story where our decisions can alter the story. Just like the Telltale series. Basically that. But a little bit more, I think, anime manga style instead of the animated and voiceover gameplay that I've seen many times with them, the Telltale series. But we will not be chit-chatting too long because I want to get into the game. I know the first chapter is about I think an hour and a half. I'm not sure, but I will say this: I played the first episode already. I've already played the first episode already in terms last year for gameplay recorded. But I want to see how it is, on stream. Chippy Official, what's up? Greetings, comrade. How are you? Doing great. How about you, man? Welcome in. How you doing? We're just about to start Tiny Bunny, which I'm honestly looking forward to. I've never seen the second chapter or third or whatever precedes it because I always stopped on the first, and the people that I see playing or gameplays of it stopped at the same one too. So, fuck it. Let's just get into it. I'm super excited to see how it goes. And to see the freaking second chapter. I'm also good. Nice. Well, welcome in, my good sir. I'm back. Welcome, Mr. No. Welcome back. Where's the game? Why is it not opening? I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna switch gameplay. So you can see, guys, this is like the art style that the game will be using. You guys are seeing, right? Okay, you're seeing. Good. The art style that the game is using, which I love. One of my favorite. English. Means offensive language and scenes of physical, psychological violence. Proceed with caution. I'm fine. I look at that artwork. It's brush strokes, kind of like art, and it's very beautiful. Nice. Oh, any streamer? Not yet, mate. How you doing, Mr. None? Welcome in, my good sir. We don't see it. Let me see. You guys don't see the game? Is that what you're telling me? Hold up. Yes. You don't see the game? What? I just realized that. Damn. Thank you for pointing that out. Let me see here. I think I know the issue with that one. It is this. There we go. I had game capture on when I shouldn't have. Yo, what's up, Bendy? Welcome in. How you doing today? Now everyone sees it, right? All right, let me see it. Yes. Everyone sees it now. Nice. I like that. Why is this not on live? There we go. Perfect. Oh, let me mess with the settings real quick. Are we back to not being able to see it? Oh, we don't want to do windowed. Can we do windowed without border? No. I see it. How about now? It's doing the same thing. Okay, so that means I need window capture thing. Oh, it's already scuffed. Scuffed in the five bloody seconds. Which one was it? Funny. There we go. Cool. I know how to fix it. How do you fix it? Oh, I think I got it. I just want to turn the music down, bro. Music's great. I love it. Not gonna lie. Music's great. Okay. Good. We all still see it, right? Yes, I didn't see it. I see it not anymore. Also, I wasn't joining that I'm using Google. I only know that much bird names, or maybe a few more. Nice. Yeah, right. Keep lying to yourself. I didn't know you. Yeah. Ori drama. Cool. All right. I think this is good with the settings. If we need to change it, we just change it on the go. New game. Let's get into it, lads. Oh. If you hold down the shift when starting the game, it will be possibly to change the rendering in the game. This will fix a lot of problems if you have any. I will keep that in mind if you run into any more problems. That I would never figure it out on my own, but thank you very much, Chippy. Thank you very much, good sir. How dare you deliver such lies that you said about us disrespectful? What lies did I say? Damn. The wind clawed at the window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Someone was Yo, Chippy, thank you for that follow, mate. Welcome to the Gamer Army, and I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Very much appreciate that. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our houses had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that has seen a lot in these days, and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling and whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just plays of light and shadows. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. We see the fox, right? We see the fox, right? Oh my god. Episode 1. The Howl will arrive. Blah, 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 blah. I'm excited. Oh shit, you're right. Blah, 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 blah. Man's right. Shit. Blah, 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 blah. This can't see. This one, and then which one's my thing? Oh, it's because it's a little higher. Camera thing. We shall bring you right up here. I think we're gonna have to do this for the whole series. Where's my chat box? Oh wait. No, we're gonna go on the left side. I'm sorry, right side, because my notifications are on that side. Chat box. I will have to go over here. Is someone send a message real quick? Actually, I can do that. I'm an idiot. Testing. Perfect. Well, we can just put it down here. I don't think the text is in the way there, right? Cool. I think we're good there, right? I'm actually surprised that I remember that much bird names. That many bird names. Normally, I don't know, 23 now. I feel like 35 or something. Damn, you know so many names. All right. Now we get into it. Love the art. Huh? What? Did I leave the voices on by accident? Ah, overlap the faces on the top right. God damn. Read text? No, I don't want read text. That's the thing. Read text, everything text, audio, speed. So do I just turn on the voices, I guess? Alright. Yep, we are. No, bitch. Alright. No! Thank God I have a Control Z. Okay, this. And then this. It'll be good there, right? If I have to turn off the camera, I will. I don't want to block any of the art, to be honest. Now you're going to overlap the face at the top. I'm talking about the same place where you were, but just above the text window. So like right here then. Right there. And this right there. Should be okay here. Might take off the chat box, but I'm not sure yet. Didn't think this through when I started this. Alright, I think there's fine, right guys? Hopefully. Hopefully we're good. yes. Cool. Hey, put away your book. How many times have I... Let me see. Yeah. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at your slouch. How slouched you are. Ooh. Hide it. I didn't protest. And I put the book about Conan and the Barbarian aside. Oh, good book. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olia had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was enthusiastic. She almost looked like her typical girl from commercials. Cute. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole into a plate with my eyes, as if it would make my porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. Ew. It looked like a jellyfish from the Coastia Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. I wonder too. A bit more up. With what? The camera? You and you and you like this? It's like that, no? Would assume, anyways. That's fire? Nice. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. It's very horrifying. It's scary. Or how could the Black Forest, or how cold the Black Forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a glare from her green eyes. How can you tell I'm green? What did I just say? I'll get it. His name is Anton. Nice. I just realized that. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. She's gone. We got time, lads. What is this carved on the underside of the table? Karina. Oh. Ha, that's my mom's name. Did someone recommend this game to you, or did you find it yourself? I found it myself. I was watching a YouTuber, Markiplier, play this. He never finished it. I don't think he ever got past the first chapter. And I was like, damn, this looks great. And then I started it myself just last year. I never continued it, but I'm continuing it now on stream. Type it here. How now I feel, or I could just type it here. Nah, it's okay, Benny. That's a lot of names to type here. That is my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal damaging the furniture like that. She could scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? Probably not. No. She's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sound coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? What the hell are you watching, bruh? Oh, this is Grandma Mom. I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where Olia sleeps nowadays, and saying this to her soft, smooth voice. Tiaga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashing dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. Oh, yes. I remember listening on other conversations. I really butchered that one. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for a funeral. Oh, shit. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. Well, at least she was optimistic about it. I must warn you, although you'll notice it yourself later, the translation is far from ideal in some places. Is it? So they didn't translate it correctly then, which is understandable considering what the first language is, which I believe is Russian, right? And all that jazz. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. Well, that's an interesting way to describe it. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olia was done with her cookies, and I was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the forested window. How can you see through that window, bro? There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of a forest formed a picture on the glass. A fox. Olia, look, it's a fox. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies that put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look under a certain angle. Not outside, on the window. I like how the graphics move. You know, it's subtle. Look, here's the nose, and here's... hey, eat up. Yes, just a moment. Ooh, I've said that to my mom. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Ah, there it is, but it still doesn't look like one. I'm telling you, it does. Nuh-uh, such siblings. It does. Stop it, these kids, I swear. Oh, where'd it go? Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty pattern similar to stretch out needle leaves kept creeping up the glass. Oh, hello there, good sir. Holy shit. You don't say anything? No. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. It is a nice beard. I would always ask jokingly, come on, shave it off. It stings. Mom, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. This was so long ago. Man. It really true. These parents are good looking, I'm not gonna lie. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olio always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, what's the point in all this, through the wall. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply, for the sake of our family. I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. This kid thinks too much for a 12-year-old. Divorce. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Has anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father too, and still. Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket near the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a martyr of yourself and finish eating already. Shit. But the owl. There was no owl. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Olia sprung from the chair and placed her hands on the little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each. Last year you had Babia in your closet and now this owl? But I saw it. Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from dad to me. From dad to mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about the befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Oh, that sucks. Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. And there she goes. Olia powdered her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. Aye. It was stored on incredibly worn casket cassette tapes, which Dad already had to glue together once. I haven't seen a cassette tape in such a long time. The rightmost button is a dictionary, if anything. The rightmost button? Oh, glossary. Babia, in Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. That's cool. I didn't know that. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Menu. I don't know what that does. Auto. Backlog. Ooh, cool. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together. For example, what the hell happened to the music? How do you fix a relationship? What kind of 12-year-old are you, mate? You think way too much. Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Holly had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes, oof, this music really got intense. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Jesus fuck. I played this game already. It still gets me. And then Olia said this. Christ. And then Olia said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Well, can they? I'm not sure, but I need a drink of water. Sorry. A lot of reading, dry mouth. Or as they say, a cotton mouth. That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and end up thinking of what to expect from my new school. Can I think anything here? No. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and a pair of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creature were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp me on with their bloodied shoes? If anything, I also apologize for my mistakes in the test, because I use a translator to write, but I understand English by ear. This is just information for the future. If at some point I write shit instead of adequate text, let me know. Yo, bro, no worries at all. Appreciate you taking the effort and time to explain things and let me know on things, and just being here and chilling with me in this stream. But thank you for letting me know ahead of time, and I'll totally let you know if there's a hiccup in me understanding what you're saying. I don't know if I remember reading it, but I think I read that last part. Bam, school can burn for all I care. Damn. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itchy to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offense name for me, worse than the previous one. I feel like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of a monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I also had enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine my mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or Anton is not around. Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all, but who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. Aw, that's adorable. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with a neighbor's drill, mumbled a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent, easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, and the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. Oh, that's why the music's playing like that. It was already playing for a good while. I just put that together too. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up. That scared me. I stood up and rushed in the window. I wanted to reassure myself that the music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it out there. Amidst a cold, snowy night, right? Ooh. 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 Someone was dancing in the fields. Black silhouettes I could barely make out with the dark forest at their backdrop. They dropped around, basked in the moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around, and crawled all on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around, holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing in the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. I was wondering then, when you watched the gameplay from Markiplier, what exactly motivated you to buy the game and go play it? The visual style or something else? The visual style, the soundtrack, and the story. All those three combined really got me to want to play this game, and plus that they put a kind of like the visual style with a horror aspect to it really brought me to, really drew me even more to the game, which is something I love. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Also, love to know is I enjoy good stories and I love reading, and being able to read on stream something like this with graphic, with like a graphic aspect to it is something I enjoy as well. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Oh, suddenly the music had stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. That's not good. That's not good at all. It glided on the squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-black shadows of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping all around like the bird inside a cage. Okay, we'll keep up with the plot. Everybody chill! I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back toward the bed. They saw me. Rats. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of the perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Oh, that's so scary, bro. My guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. And I remember the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined these little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Ew. Excuse me. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see grandchildren. No! Ew! I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure, and now lying under the blanket and listening to the squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Buyan, underneath the blemished sun in the sea of blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair of the words. There lay lard and ashen hair for the spawn from devil's lair to feast and always leave alone. God's faithful servant, named Anton. Evil leave this house. Evil this house must. What? Evil leave this house must? Evil must leave this house, I think is what they try to say. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Be okay. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night had dosed me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. Is that the doorknob? In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hurtling, clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad became very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring in the forest intently as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and I drilled the door with my eyes. It was flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then my worst fear, and I have a doorknob that's just the same. The doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more, and then... Wow, he's really gooning that door. It started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear, and my wet fingers clutched the blanket. Ah, oh, no, senor. Por favor. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now, you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness withered inside the carnivorous mouth of the doorway. Tusha. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling and snarled by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of a gaping black hole. Tuni. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tosha, you asleep? Damn you, kid. Damn you, kid. Work me up like that, like shit. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Olya, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olya frowned and stuck out her lower lip. Oh, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tosha, please. Tosha? I'm a big fan of this game, so I've watched a lot of streams and so on, and unfortunately I've heard something like that many times. Imagine a situation where a chat asks a streamer to play this, and then it looks like it's just the first minute of the game, and the streamer says, you said it was scary here, but there are fucking letters. Fuck it, I'm going to download Outlast. I laughed a lot when I heard that. That's why I'm glad when someone who likes to read plays it. That's, it's just like saying, like, someone going to the movies and realizing there's no special effects or CGI of some sort, and that really pisses me off. It's like, there are more things than just superhero movies or, you know, heavily graphic games and all that jazz. Games like this have passion, and they have what do you call that word I'm looking for? They have substance to it. They have a thick center to it, and it really is disappointing that people say that about this kind of game, these kind of games. And to read that, that's both funny and disappointing from that streamer you're talking about. It's like, shit. Totally, they are totally missing out, but I do agree with what you said there. I very much do. Shoo her away, Tosha, please. I'm so scared. You're telling me, kid? You scared me. The fear was tormenting me just a minute ago, crawled away, and it hit somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olya down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Olya sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself? No. Now after we saw, I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video. Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? That question took me by surprise. It took me by surprise. I didn't even have a remark for it. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? You know, reading this part of the game or interacting with the sister just reminds me of my two sisters. I'm the second eldest, and I have two baby sisters, and it just reminds me how I was with them younger, to be honest. What studied me with its eyes while dancing festively under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tosha, you coming? Yes, yes. Just a moment. Love it. You got to love it. Jesus Christ. When I played that the first time and saw that the first time, it scared the shit out of me. It scared the living dazzling hell out of me. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olya and her owl in the morning. Ring a ding 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 ding. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? Many people. I meant to say not many people. We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I feel extremely unsettled from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide in the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Ole was always hides. Tosha, come here. I felt like the kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. Ooh, Policia! A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello. The senior officer who wore a grim expression nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. The art's such amazing. So amazing. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. Cute kitty. His eyes are so far apart. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window. That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window. Yep. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounded tired, but his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwillingly under the weight of guilt which his giant shadows cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes sorry. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit. Just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? Yes, everything's all right, thank you. The policeman pierced me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy to end his unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles. Yeah, always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. I mean, it's not that bad. Have you only seen the first episode? This is good because the first episode is just an introduction. The real plot begins with the second episode. Yes, I've only seen the first episode, and I'm aware that the second episode is where the shit hits the fan. But even with the first episode being the introduction, it is one hell of an introduction. I'll tell you that much. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Wanted to help other people just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. Times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. Ew. You don't say. Ah, well then. What grade are you in, Anton? 6th. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school from the first time after the break. Ah, then I'll leave you my number just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone, along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne, and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I had gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? By the way, you can make the microphone a little louder because it's kind of quiet. Microphone's too quiet. Shit. Let me see. There. Microphone here. There. How about now? Does it sound better to you? I do hope so. I think it's because it was just too far away from me, per se. Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? Let me see. Perfect. Yeah, now it's good. Perfect. Mom, this Vova did he go missing in our forest? Seems like a poor child. Oh, Wow, that's a lot to absorb. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove off toward the village. Also, thank you, Chippy, for letting me know about that. I would never guessed it. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was spitting off old paint from the windowsill, splitting. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigate all sorts of mysteries there. They look for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became a local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's prints that led to the forest. Where do you see that? And then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Always the start of a terrible idea. Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe they'll even save us from the D word. Man, a 12-year-old shouldn't have to be thinking of this. It really has robbed a child's childhood. I fantasize about buying Olia a Tamagotchi. What the hell is a Tamagotchi? No! I fantasize about... Oh, here we go. Tamagotchi and getting a casket player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole boxes of Kinder Surprise. Oh, I know Kinder Surprise. You missed new words in the glossary? I was going to click the glossary. Uaz, a Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand from which produced on the Yulian, that's the name I can't pronounce, I'm really sorry, car factory. Black Kitty, a series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. Nice. So now we understand what those are. Good. Water time. Delicious. A whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had a little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. Ooh, accountants, yeah. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had enough to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Sometimes I gave her my share too. It's a good brother. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside. Ooh, yeah, I don't think so, mate. Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Olia. I love this. Right. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Shit. Ooh, hello. Dark stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. Oh, I'm just noticing the axe. Nice. And Olia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babaya. Wait, let me see here. I think it's Babai is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she could see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. I liked to hide in the closet and listen to Olia count outside. 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Love it. Anything else to click? Mom's peg top, a family relic. My mom played with it when she was little, then she gifted it to me. Olia was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She started at the dancing spindle as if she could show her something, a fairy tale, or maybe even our future. Now even my little sister was a bit too old for the old squeaky peg toy top. A Tamagotchi, like a pocket animal that needs to be fed on time, so it's game on a portable thing. A Tamagotchi, right? I thought I heard that name before. I've definitely heard of those kind of little gizmo things that you have, and you raise it and all that, and then it's basically a pet that's digital, and then you can have that pet can have a pet or a child, and then you raise that and all that. Someone recently explained that to me, a friend of mine, and she grew up playing using that thing so long. Now even my little sister was a bit too old for the old squeaky peg top. But now to the kitchen. Oh, oops. Sorry. That's funny. Sorry. Let me see. Yeah. The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning, as if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. Does that come up? No, that doesn't come up. Okay, I was wondering. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions, to be exact. Did I double click? I haven't touched the calendar for years now. Oh yes, I did double click. Damn it! Did not mean double click. I grabbed a dusty calendar leaf with a caution. Oh, cool! I grabbed a dusty calendar leaf with caution and tore it off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky descriptions from my childhood were still there. 7 horses carry the log. If seven can't carry, bring the 8th from a fairy. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate the log cannot escape. I crumbled the gray leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on blotting paper. Ooh, the side of the old freezer was checkered with my childish drawings. Mom's recipes of all kinds of stickers, from bubblegum with dinosaurs that Olia liked so much. Among still life picture hung. What did I read there? Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. Taiga is just a name for deep forest in cold areas there, let's say. Ah, okay. So that's what it is. Thank you for explaining that. And I really appreciate you taking the time, again, explaining these words that I see here. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering some of these names. I just never seen them before, or I just don't know where the accent goes, or where the pronunciation, or how the pronunciation for it is. First Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by the 2 pieces of a broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and these 2 pieces just barely covered the numbers as if to taunt me. I leaned toward it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I would finally find Vova and be the first to call the police with its happy news. Anton. Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering Mom was just the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. That's hilarious. What's this? It took a bit of Mom's crossword. She could get very angry when someone gave her advice, so me and my dad faked knowing the answer and being about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at the fleeting thought. Vertical line, 9 letters, the name of the Palestine deity that protected them from viper bites, and a nickname, the Lord of the Flies. Second letter is E. Huh. Palestine. I see. Marvelous. Is that Grandma? I'm used to it and I'm fine with it because I saw an American in this game trying to pronounce a name about 25 times and not one was correct. So just don't waste your time. I can understand that. When it comes to Russian names, it is pretty difficult to pronouncing it if you're not accustomed to its pronunciation. It's much like Mexico, and with its Mexican names, Oaxaca and everything. When you see that name and have it written out to you, you would not guess how that pronunciation is by the spelling. It's crazy. But that's funny. 25 times, Christ. That must be me. Grandma kept an ice cream for me and Olia there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. Oh, so that's how they show me that there's a word. Pelmeni, a Russian variety of dumplings made by boiling thin, unleavened dough filled with mincemeat. One day even call it Russian fast food. Cool, I love it. I grew to hate them already. Nothing else? This medicine here? Alright, ma'am. It's been great. What's this do? Oh, it shows me where I can click. Oh. Russia had declared the test state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving toward the region, except heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snowdrifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. Wicked! I love that. We're gonna turn that off. No, turn it off, turn it off. Go. Fuck off, fuck off. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Turn back. Later, Ma. Heading outside. Anton. Shit. I'll whip you if you make a single step out the door. I need to distract my mom somehow, or I'll get scolded and my ass whipped with my dance leather belt. Ah! I know that feeling. Talking time? Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. You're killing me here. So have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Oh wait, isn't he playing a Nintendo? And I know that game of the ducks. Told you the keen scope will go dim because of your console. Well, where will we find a TV technician in this hole? In this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings. Please, go see for yourself. Strange. It worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it. Snowfall? Bro, you're inside. My mom heard her hands clean on the apron and went to Olia's room. Okay, now's our chance, lads. Let's go. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. This game is good in terms of details in the pictures, and yes, I think the whole of Eastern Europe keeps medicines in the refrigerator. What does it do in those terms? There's some we keep in the refrigerator, but only because the substance of it is sweet at times, and ants and other insects are attracted to it. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. Why is the music picking up? And a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. A la madre, wey, ¿qué está pasando aquí? Everything was silent. Not really, and there's birds. So silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olia. The time reached its limit, one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olia turned to stone, listening to them. That's sad. That's really sad. That's unbelievably sad. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olia present, she would always frown and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home. and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. Was he part of something that he not legal? From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes sometimes visited us in our previous home? Had to be something illegal he was doing. Was he cooking the books for some organization or mafia? From the people with the dead cold eyes, already read it. The eyes that only saw balls of worn worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. Dot, dot, dot. Oh, it's you. Nice beanie. It looks cold as shit over there. Holy hell. I have never seen snow in my life, and I'm sure if I go to a place that has heavy snow, it'll be the most white I've ever seen in any place. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. And there was only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping my up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and conifers needles froze into the ice. Oh, hello there. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. And the thing is moving like back and forth, like, hello! I tried getting closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my future TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. You said you never seen snow? I've never seen snow in person, you know? I haven't been in an area where it snows. And I'm not a fan of cold climate, but I would love to experience snow at least once or twice in my life. But where I live, it never snows. It just rains. And even with that, it barely does that. Alright, let's see what the glossary says here. Excuse me. Streets of Broken Lights, a Russian mystery TV series telling a story of the daily life of Russian police officers. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the moment. Nice. I'm gonna have to look that up. The Streets of Broken Lights. It reminds me of the Backstreet Boys, not gonna lie. It really does. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Well, will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Vova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. The river? Why would it come from the river? Vova! Do I hear the same thing in the background? As if the trees were calling out to someone. That's a no for me. Vova? Sounded closer to me. One sec. Sorry. Gotta make sure I am... There we go. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I like how it's echoing in the background too. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh, chica, madre way. Where's you? A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. We also see that white speck crossing the screen, right? So it was my imagination after all. Silence regained for a painfully long time. Okay, panning here. Why are we panning? My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, and any small whisper from the thicket, I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. Okay, can we just go grab the glove and fuck off? I looked at the mitten once more. Ooh, I could choose? Nah, man, we're not gonna be bitch babies. We take the glove. I advise you save yourself before choosing. Save myself? What do you mean? I decided to take the lonely min from the branch. Ah! Who dat? Who dat? Vova? Uh-oh. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Show thyself. Menace. I stepped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked and the min tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. How's it still warm? You can click on backlog and save. Backlog. Save at what point though? All too heavy when it didn't budge. Oh, I think I'm. Oh, here we go. I decided to take them in. Is that where I'm supposed to go? No. That was my mission after all. Blackness, Vova hiding. Someone was standing there behind the trees. Here? No. Cool. Stillness has been unnaturally toward the ground. It's blackness. There we go. So how do I shive? It's all my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Ah, that's where the thing was. Oh. And escape. Click on the one before choice and escape. And save. Oh, yes. I played it then. Empty slot. Alright, we saved. There we go. Right there. Right there, right there. Okay. Now it's my question is what's gonna happen. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating in my throat. Any noise in a little moment. Okay, okay, read this. Read this. Now we choose, right? We take and escape. Okay. I think we will last time I played the game, I took it. I know what's gonna happen. I know the next part of what's gonna happen when we take the glove. Now, do we run away or do we take the glove? You know, like what plays better? Take it. All right, we take it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Oh yeah, it's my friends, my figurine friends. We are skipping a little bit because we already read it. A shoot rumble across the field and dissolved into distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Grab the mitten, boy. I stepped toward the bristles, trees, and tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked, and the mint tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking, and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mint and snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Oh, my eyes. Well, that's blood. Hot damn. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches evaded the silence. Oh no. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking me behind branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowly me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get caught. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of the reasons it gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. Whoa. Heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. But like the sound came from the pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. And oh, an enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a whiz. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from the twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run! Don't look back! It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became a vicious, like quicksand. Oh, what's this? What am I looking at? I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued down, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow was clutching my pants. What? Gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone, and my boot slipped out of the hole, and my soles were on a hard surface again. Run, kid! I reached a clear path, one jump, and from there ran to my house. A gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed it into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. Ooh, whoa. As if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so I could escape the cold. I had noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already at the front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and obediently gave away. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I could click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Whizzing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked into the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door and smell was gone, and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and was the last bit of strength I had left. My body, too. My legs gave way. I popped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants blasted with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was someone chasing me. I thought... I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco or nicotine. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant as she covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there, at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Oh, there's a pack of dogs. Doggies. A small pack of strays with no name or owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. Jesus. They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? Sorry. The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Ugh. Now she looked at the dogs as if for the first time seeing them. What if they attack Olya? Mom? I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Oh, I mean, you don't have to do that. Mom, look. They're alive. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner just to keep myself from crying. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course. A darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. Ooh. Mom, look, this is Volva's mitten. That boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging out on a tree. I can show here. Let's call the police right away. Let the officer had told us to. Mom, look. Ew. A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto Mom's contorted face, as she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Oh, she does not look like a happy mother. Stop at this moment. Olya will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time, and you joke around like this? At the moment I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy, who cried Wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pills. A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell onto my palm. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and that would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medicine, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Volva's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters and Olya's owl. Am I going mad? Aren't we all? Ooh, this is a trip. What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect or my overexerted brain didn't feel that fear inside anymore. Sincerity washed over me, bringing a yawny indifference along with it. Shit. Motherfucker. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. See, you can do it when you try. Ah, I see. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom. I was just thinking. What about, I wonder? It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything all right? You had the exact expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm all right, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. What the fuck did they give this kid? Because that's crazy if this has the media effect. Is that a phone? That is a phone. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt indifferent, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olya was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes and stopped before the sink and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. I don't remember him being in the doorway. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's Lagos voice died down. I walked past Olya's bedroom and slipped into my room. Ooh. Okay, we can click on shit. Monsters, Ghosts, UFOs. Encyclopedias of Paranormal Phenomenon from Roseman Publishing. I've learned about the Loch Ness Monster, Medusa's Gordon, and Bigfoot from there. Olya is always scared of the book. She could barely handle sitting through the monster and the alien sections with me, but the middle part where they start to talk about ghosts really freaked her out. I even remember hunting ghosts after I read the book. I measured the distance between the items on my table every evening and checked if they moved due to some supernatural force come the morning. That's unsettling. They didn't. Perfect. But to be honest, what was I expecting? To meet Casper the ghost? Huh. I mean, I know a Casper. This one? This? That? These? Ah. My Triceratops figurine. That's not what I clicked. I know all sorts of dinosaurs. Velociraptors, Afroventors, Hippisiliophondunts. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I remember going to the movies to see Jurassic Park back when we still lived in the city and taking pictures with the T-Rex in the hall. If they watched Jurassic Park, that was 1993, if I'm not mistaken, or 92. So they're like in the 90s right now. It turned its head and roared. It was awesome. And next to it was a Robotech Transformer. Oh, I see that. I love this cartoon. When a jet fighter speeds up in the intro among the sounds of blaster fire, you know your next 20 minutes will surely be amazing. Zentraedi space station is captured. Rick, get ready for battle. Ooh, one of the drawers was empty. I hid them in there. The simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. Bye-bye, Mitten. I sat on the bed. Huh? Okay. The only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to the medicine I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. Guess who's back? Greatest shit, the coolest guy in town. Me? What's up, Mr. Gnome? You weren't here the entire time? The fuck? Excuse me. But what's up? What's up? Welcome in, my good sir. The corners of the room bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. Yep, been here? Nice, nice. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my window visor. Visitor? Yes. It reminded me of the burial sheets. Olia? Please be Olia. Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried lips. Yeah, Olia, it's so funny, bro. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains. Oh, the heartbeat don't help. As if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains. Badum. Badum. Beat my heart controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, but just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Gotcha! I had a feeling it was a kid. You can click on the eye on top right and it will show you where you can click. True, I forgot to do that. So I can see where I can click more. Damn. I wasn't talking because this is so entertaining. It's scary and with suspense. It is, isn't it? That's one of the things I really like about this game. It has those elements that really come together. I knew it was you from the beginning. I blindly brought halo lit up above Olia's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. She has such white hair. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was a shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her up to the window one day and the sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a flashlight, moving child. That's cute. So sorry if I wasn't talking this much. Nah, man. If you're enjoying the episode and all that, then no worries. Hello, moderator. How are you? Yo, Taylor. Welcome in, bro. How you doing? How you doing? And thank you again for moderating me as you're in your stream. You know, fuck it, you know. Since you're here and you did it for me, and I know how you are in things, like in terms of trust. Boom. I gave it a tear too. Yeah. Ye are a mod. Be modded. Hi. Nice. Okay, back to it. Sorry. I felt like I was holding a light woven child. I saw everything. Saw what? Oh, really? What did you hide? Man, this is really like having a assistant. Jesus Christ. She was just like my mom when she was little before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. Bots be gone? Hell yeah. That's the attitude, boy. That's the attitude. What about mod? What about mod? What do you mean? It's nothing. Just Olia ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked, "You stole something and hid it there. Are you a thief?" What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten, hanging from a tree branch. You said something about mod? Oh, it was just I was modding someone I know on Twitch. That's all, my good sir. Ah, la verga. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Olia kid could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted it. Well, speak of the devil. But you the timing of that is just hilarious. I'm sorry. Oh my god. It's Russian too. Is this? Are you a bot? No, you're not a bot. First time chat. Kolupsi, what's up? Welcome in. I can't tell if this is a bot. I can't tell either. I know this is Russian. This language is Russian. How you doing? I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian, but if you speak English, by all means, please go forward with English, but I'm terribly sorry, but I don't speak your language. No, I don't think this is a bot anymore. It did give off bot vibes, but it's not. Ayya. Olia could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. You know speak Russian, comrade? Christ, Mr. Hernan. Ooh. Thank you for the help, GP. I really appreciate that. Wanted. Then show me. Swear that you won't tell anyone. Then I'll show you. Olia wore a plotting smile on its cute. So cute. I swear on my mom's heart. And oh, she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Pioneer movement, an umbrella term for communist children organizations existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent of the Scout movement. Don't say things like that. Olia nodded and made a gesture with her head, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. Okay, well that works too. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olia leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it and got lost himself. Hello streamer, I don't understand a damn thing you're saying, but it's nice to sit here and talk to the chat. GP, can you let him know? I appreciate the hello and that you're here sitting with the chat. And thank you for stopping by and or just hanging around here. If you'd like to summarize that, no worries, but just, let him know that I appreciate him being here and all that, or her. Also, Mr. Renault, how you doing, bro? How you doing in terms, how's your weekend going so far? Now, do you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? He must be really cold out there. A la madre. Kloops, thank you for that follow, bro. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the gamer army. I know you don't understand me, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. He must be really cold out there. Will they find him? Well, Uno reverse card? Why Uno reverse card? Will they find him? They will. The police are going to his house, showing his photo to everybody. Olia traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. And why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. That's a freaking good question. Why are they going in that area? Like me saying, how are you doing first? I'm doing good. Long day of work. Long night. And I'm just glad to be here streaming this game, finally. The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything, but how about you, Mr. No? They've already scouted the forest. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of ice branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Good question, kid. Or did it appear later for me? Change the topic. As they're trying to get Olia off as far away as possible from the forest thickets. We must get a reward if I go and find this boy myself. A lot of stuff like the Wheel of Fortune. I know the Wheel of Fortune. That's a good one. The Soviet and Russian TV game show still running to this day, coming out every Friday, can be described as a partially adapted version of the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I know that one. Sounds cool, right? Yeah, sounds really cool, man. Olia wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic of her. For her. What if the owl got me? Nonsense! An owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's, how should I put it, cursed or something. Just like in a fairy tale. No, more like that a spooky tape our parents hid from us. Olia shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here. You're wrong. No one has ever died from boredom. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? You know what I wish for on my next birthday? I wish for my mom and dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. That is so sad. Ugh. Yeah, if I go make them as small as bugs, we could play them into a little box. Cute. Well, I'm doing good. As you know, I've been drawing. Also writing some descriptions for main 6 Fallout villains. Oh, that's so cool, bro. I'm so glad that you got the inspiration to continue. Here you go, good sir. That's funny. Oh, I love that so much. Yeah, if you make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Oh, you got it real close, kid. Let me see here. Right there, gun there. Ole giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Tosha, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister as I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired, I don't want to. Come on. It's so boring alone and Mom was always busy. Can we pick up a cartoon you haven't seen already? Excuse me. All sorts of tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go, let's go. Maybe a bit later. Should I tell you how it ends? Let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't tell you tomorrow. I know. Let's play hide and seek. No, Olia. Then draw me a dino. Olia, please. Draw it, draw it. Draw it, draw it. Leave me alone already. Aw, you didn't have to do that, kid. Aw. I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I never screamed at my little sister like that. Ay, my nose. Goddamn. Olia stared at me in shock. Just making sure I didn't miss any messages. I don't think so. Her lips stared, trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olia from crying. Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna. I came up to her, put my hands on her soft head. Let's go. Watch Peter Pan. Boo, you fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full Triceratops later. Hooray! Triceratops. Close enough, kid. Close enough. Well, close enough. Exactly. Olia rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas and shining smile returned to her face. I'll go ask Mom for a condensed milk and bread and you rewind the tape. Man, rewinding cassette tapes. I haven't done that in so long. Jesus Christ. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk. And I remember there being like cassette tapes, now that I'm thinking about, like this small. And then you had to get a cassette tape or cassette tape. I don't know what they call it. But like where you put a small cassette tape inside of a cassette tape so you can put it into the VCR so that it could play it because the VCR wasn't adapted to play small cassette tapes. Ah, that was a mouthful. But man, that takes me back. Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk. I think the one thing I had in cassette tape was Spider-Man 3 or 2. I can't remember. I'm sorry that we switched to Russian without asking if you're comfortable. We're just talking about life. No worries. The chat's there for basically for, you know, for that kind of purpose, you know, as long as nothing political or religious and all that jazz, you're totally cool. No worries, mate. I already read that. Okay. All right, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll get yelled at again. Want to bet I won't spill it? Bet. VHS cassette tape adapter. I guess that's the name. Pretty sure that sounds accurate in that name. But yeah, I remember that because my parents, they had their wedding videoed on one of those cassette tapes, and it was too small, so they had to get a cassette tape adapter. I guess you're right, it is called that. And they put it in that. I'm not sure if they got it burned on the CD, because I know there's a way you can transfer it to that. The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. And she's gone, like the wind. Olia disappeared into the doorway and dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Turn on. What can I click here? This. That's it. Piggy bank. Olia is saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Oh, that's adorable. Olia's countless toys, an old teddy bear in the main attraction here. Olia doesn't sleep without it. You know, this Russian reminds me of the time I had to translate a Japanese viewer from another streamer of mine. His name was Honda. He was a pretty cool and chill dude, awesome vibes he gave. Wish I could have seen him one last time. What happened to him? Like, you lost touch with him or something like that? An old teddy bear. Olia doesn't sleep without it. She digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. What was the other shit I could click? This. The scary window where Olia sees that accursed owl every night lurking in the dark. When I was little, I had a cassette of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ah, that's so cool. Which ones? Like the 90s ones, right? The live action one? Or was it the cartoons from like Disney XD or something like that? He only came in one stream and that's it. He was very nice. Oh, that's cool. It's a very nice day. It's always nice having those kind of people come into the streams. Scary window where Olia sees a cursed owl every night lurking in the dark. Olia keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as the twilight comes, she shuts them tight so she wouldn't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. Turn on. The old Photon TV was gathering dust in the corner of Photon TV. Shit, man, I haven't heard these names in a while. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Even the noise is accurate. Bro. Old one? Nice. Such memories, man. Such memories. I remember watching those. The tube warmed up. The familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. Oh, that's trippy. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was dark, Tiaga Forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a moment later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. I used to enter Japanese Twitch streams and try to learn the language and converse and learn words as I translate my response to them. Seriously? That's dope. Do you still do that, or have you lost touch doing that? Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV stations only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olia had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her, but in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. I'm making the sound effects, lads. Those little figurines are so cute. Look at these cassette tapes. Oh my god. I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. Oh, that's so cute. I found the tape I needed thanks to a shabby spine. The Beta Fem. I have lost it since I started streaming myself. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So not much time, not much personal time for yourself then. Blah. I got black rectangle from its box. Up to the screen for me and you. The tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Excuse me. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Imagine a world in my head and Olia flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. I meant to say images, but I, for some reason, said imagine. You just had a choice and you missed it? I had a choice? My little sister's laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. Okay, we gotta go back. Backlog. I got black rectangle from its box. There we go. Got the black rectangle from its box. Tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me. Is it here? Nah, not here, right? That's what I thought. I shifted through the shelves. Tape. Yeah. Spine. How far back is the thing? Bit more back? Did I get it here, or was the... No, I know where. Yeah. I know where. I know where. Maybe I need an antenna. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna again. Or on the other hand, all they had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. Sitting on this stream and not understanding a damn thing, I'm not sure I can be proud of my English grade. No worries, bro. That's not a problem if you can't understand. But again, I appreciate you being here nonetheless. More? Here? Here, yep. Okay. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch the channel again? Or on the other hand, Ole had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Back up. Set search. Oh, I see. Set it, man. I want to see what else this shit has to offer. I can't remember much of this part. What? The picture finally cleared up. Ugh. But the moment I rejoiced at finding that weird signal again, the TV started coughing, a voice barely coming through the cacophony. He was often seen at the moment when small snowy hills were lined up on the screen, pierced with rickety crosses, and a male voice was narrating a slow, mournful voice. It was a pitch-black night at the cemetery. Oh, hello. In the fateful dark time, little Sinya met her fate at the face of a monstrous thicket dweller. The locals call him none other than the Forest Master. I froze and did my best not to move, as if by doing that I could scare away the narrator. I listened closely to his every word. The beast dealt with the helpless girl in a masterful manner. Oh shit. The camera panned across the snow with something black spilled over it, looking for ragged pieces of cloth that were thrown around all over the place. I didn't want to think of whether Senya's remains were wrapped in there, so I shut my eyes without thinking. Pretty sure it was. Man, that's sad. I saw that. The voice continued. Fools are rare guests in these parts. I love it. Here's what Tamara, the old woman that lives in a nearby crypt, had to say. A close-up shot of the face of an old homeless woman weary from life and alcohol abuse rattled on the screen. Yes, yes, such a fearsome beastie it is. Worse than the rising dead. I love doing that. The old woman splattered saliva all over the rectangular mic. Ew, for one. I saw that. And the stink, it's like the rest of the comparison was swallowed up by the sound of a horn. I've never felt anything like that. It was just standing there, yes, right where you stand, boyo, and pierced me with its eyes right in the middle of day. It was so huge, that one. That's what you said. But glassy eyes. Obscenities were covered by another beep. You know, they say if this demon lays its eyes on you, it'll snatch you, put you into its bag, and you're done. But he won't touch me. Likes me, it seems. So they even call me the devil's wench. Ugh. Nothing to be proud of. And it's definitely true. The carnivorous monster would not touch those who fell to the level of forest beasts, going for the innocent child's blood instead. The forest master's presence is felt more and more on the outskirts of our country. Torn between believing what was said and shrugging it away, I decided to record the remaining part of the documentary for some reason. I quickly grabbed the tape that was on top of the TV and put it into the VCR without even looking at the cover. I pressed record, turned the sound up, and paid attention to the slipping signal. Oi, it's not called the Forest Master for nothing. All the animals obey it, be they hairy or feathery, they're all precursors for its appearance. If you hear howls in the distance, then it most likely already knows where you live. If you find animal prints all over your doorstep and birds watching you from the trees, you better... Epilepsy warning for sure. Very much for sure. You better hide. It's already coming for you. And if you wake up at night and see a pair of eyes in your window, then soon... Soon what? Then soon... Okay, then soon. Then soon. Good stuff! Funny helvete, vete la verga way. The TV suddenly went mad and looped the last word over and over, piercing my ears. You're not funny, bitch. You are not funny. He was very nice. Oh, I already read that. I got goosebumps all over my spine. The tapes ended and I was rewinding to the beginning. The sound of rustling tape reminded me of leaves in the wind and the low howl of the beast. Dude, yeah? I just got the joke. That epilepsy warning? Exactly, epilepsy warning to the max. I woke up from my stupor and pressed the button. Joey Drew? You're just picking that up? Really? Oh my god. I woke up from my stupor and pressed the button. The VCR ejected the tape. For a moment I thought it was stained with saliva. But that was just the light from the chandelier making the black plastic glossy. And then I saw the cover. I'm pretty sure that says Peter Pan. Oops, I recorded over Peter Pan. Yup. Shit. That's what I get for hurrying. It was bad enough that I ruined Olia's cartoon, but I also put this creepy stuff over it. I'll let her face see this and we'll drown in tears. Can't. I snuck a glance at the door. I could hear the clatter of glass and the squeaky floorboards. Olia appeared in the doorway. You haven't started without me, have you? No. My sister brought the tray with the unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. Cute! As a mod, and because your other mods are useless because they haven't mentioned this, the comments are clipping into your cam. Oh, they are, aren't they? There. Thank you, Mr. No, appreciate you. No. I was looking for the tape. Do you really want to watch Peter Pan? I do. Turn it on already. Mom will come watch her Brazilian drama soon. Come on, think. Fake detective. You know, I didn't like Peter Pan. Maybe we should watch Little Mermaid instead. For the XD streamer, I was on a stream once with a girl who played Detroit, and I love this game as much as Bunny does. And I know most of the dialogues. I chatted with her from time to time, helped her, and then I heard the word fuck in Russian, another meaning, and I realized that I have been communicating with a Russian-speaking girl in English for 2.5 days now. Ah! Yo, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. And do you still talk to this person, or and now that you know that, do you now talk to her in Russian? That's hilarious. That's funny. Done? Much better? Yeah, much better. Thank you, Mr. And I really appreciate that. I didn't notice. Me either. And I'm the one who put it there. Maybe we should watch it, Little Mermaids, instead. We've already seen it so many times. And you promised me. She's so stubborn. I know. Let's watch a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the best fucking shit ever, episodes first. Deal? I guess I have good sight? Nah. Nah. Ollie frowned, but ultimately gave up. She put down the tray and crossed her hands on her chest. If you want it so much, can you open the milk can? I'm afraid I'll cut myself with the sharp edges. As soon as I stood up, the colorful dots popped up before my eyes, and my sore legs were pierced by thousands of needles. Only when I reached the sofa, I realized that the can was already opened. True, because the can opener. Ollie had tricked me, played me for a fool. She did. She stopped streaming, don't know why, but at one point she was knitting and disappeared. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope everything with her is okay then. My stomach became heavy. I'm so blind. True. As someone whose hobby is studying many languages passively, English is a somewhat difficult language as it contradicts itself, makes up random or opposite rules on the fly for certain words, and becomes more and more of a memory game, and as it evolves, it seems to become even more convoluted. This is all my opinion, but much of what I've observed. You're 100% right. English is very convoluted, and it has contradicted itself over the years and over the transition from going from like the posh English to what is now like the like, it's not posh, but it's like broken English. It used to be this, like posh English, and now it's kind of like broken English, and it has like made rules that is kind of like hard to follow and hard to remember. And although English can be learned, it's just not a language that's easily learned like, let's say, other languages are. I want to say Spanish, but Spanish itself is hard to learn too, because it has so many rules and it is way more complex than English is. But if you don't speak English as your first language, what is your first language, mate? If you don't mind my asking. My stomach became heavy. I wanted to rush towards the TV, but my little sister was faster. She picked up the remote and proclaimed in a victorious tone, "Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. As the remote's masters, I command you to watch Peter Pan." Shit. Couldn't even open my mouth, and the VCR had already in the accursed tape. Mine? Spanish? Duh. Hell yeah. She'll play it, and then black crosses are on unnamed graves, empty crypts, bloody scraps on the snow, and the sane devil's wench. As a non-native English speaker, I can confidently say that the most annoying thing in English is the fucking concatenations of words or whole sentences to several letters, like an abbreviation. Oh yes, the abbreviations. As a person who speaks English, even I hate it. It sucks. It's fucking annoying. We switched to Russian, but besides me, she had her own viewers who spoke other languages. Periodically, they asked me what we were talking about and laughed from it. Russian was a big word. We talked so fast that the chat didn't have time to translate and understand what we were talking about. Sometimes I used some Russian words or sentences that literally break English sentences. They stopped making sense. And I told the guys about Russian culture and the Russian internet. So there are sentences in Russian that breaks English. That's cool. But I'm also curious about that. But it seemed like you got along with this person really well. I showed Gachi to one guy from the chat who speaks English in German. He was really surprised, but then she just disappeared. I guess maybe something happened in terms of like life and all that. Who knows? Maybe she'll come back in a later time and you'll be able to talk to her again. But hopefully In other words, hopefully, it's nothing serious and that everything's okay for this person. But I mean, a very nice story in terms of how you were communicated and everything just went zoom, like zoom. It's hilarious. As a Spanish speaker, I don't know what to say. What you struggle with. So Spanish for the win. Spanish for the win, bruh. Black crosses on them. Okay, I already read this. I better tell the truth. Olia, stop. I erased the end of your tape by accident. I'll trade it with you for 2 of mine. What do you mean? You can erase it. Me and Dad had broken off all those plastic pins with a screwdriver. You can't record anything over my cartoons now. My little sister pressed the triangle play button on the remote. I squeezed on the inside, awaiting the out of this world voice of the narrator. But I saw the dual Peter Pan and Captain Hook instead. I sighed in relief. My head heavy as a leaden ball. I think it meant leaden ball? Or is it just lead ball? Now rested in my hands. Olia smiled in joy. She put the tape on rewind and started spreading the milk over her bread, the condensed milk. And when the cartoon started, she forgot about everything in the world. As if she really got transported to the Netherlands, the Neverland, like she always wished. To be honest, I imagined myself there in a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. Now Peter Pan lands especially far away from me. My thoughts dragged on, stumbled upon the horned beast that awaited me among the trees, and the narrator's mournful voice haunted me, sliding over bushes and ravens, like a winged carnivore would track its prey. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality. Tosha, shut the curtains fast. Why? Oh hey, the cartoon's still playing. No one's watching you. It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared now, bro. The hell do you mean? Close. Wait, was this an option? No, I don't think so. I did my best not to look outside towards the treetops. Wait a minute. Can I not look at other stuff? Is it just closed? Oh, I want to look at outside. Man, I want to look outside the window. That's not my own thing. No option there? Damn. I did my best not to look outside toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tosha, Mom thinks I made the owl up. And Dad, too. Thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But the owl, it exists. Honestly, it does. You do believe me, right? It comes every night and... I slowly grabbed Olia's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, and so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. Whatever you do, don't look out the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed, like it's a made-up, just like Mom and Dad say. I'll get tired of waiting and fly away. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. Huh? Why are we still here? We follow Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart, bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan, it was Peter Pan, was headed to London on a glided sailboat. Okay, maybe it's Captain Pan. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. English is my first language, but I started learning Nihongo or Japanese, and then German, and then Chinese, then Vietnamese, and the Portuguese, and then Spanish. Still learning when I'm able to. The reason why it is because I still sing songs in other languages and learn bit by bit, except for Nihongo, which I learn passively more from anime. So Nihongo is for like anime. That's the specific dialect or language in the Japanese culture. For it? That's cool. And dude, you learn so many languages at the same time. Which one is your favorite? There was a time in Russia when Steam forbid changing the account location, country, currency, etc. And to change it, I had to pay with a foreign card. I bought a Turkish card to change the region. I was assured that it was empty and belonged only to me, who was used only to when I changed the region. I'll need to top up my account and pay something from it to change the region. I noticed that Twitch descriptions in Turkey are much cheaper. At the time, I did not top up my card, and the and means more. Let's go. Please shush, I'm watching my favorite cartoon on TV. The best part is about to start. Nihongo is a Japanese word for Japanese. Oh, Nihongo is the... Oh, I get it. Okay, now I get it. That makes sense now. Eventually bought 150 Twitch subscriptions and paid 1,000 liars to someone's Steam balance. Twitch didn't miss the last message. Twitch didn't miss the last message. Eventually bought 150 Twitch subscriptions and paid... What the fuck? Seriously? 1,000 liras. What the fuck? That's cool. And is it legal? That's my main question. The best part is about to start. Dude, you just missed the best part. Christ almighty, mate. Christ almighty. But I really appreciate you translating all this, Klupse. I really do. It has not gone past me that you are translating all this in English. Big preach, brother. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olia's eyelids had dropped. She had started snorting lightly. Aw, snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. The chorus was singing the ending song, and the world of Disney was lit up by a silvery moon. Oi, tupam. Another moon peeked from under the first one, scary and wan, hanging over the Taiga forest. The horrific report got recorded over the credits. My throat went dry, my pulse became stir. Oh no. I looked toward Olia. She smacked her lips in her sleep. I squeezed the remote with all my might, ready to press stop any moment. I rewound the recording, checked if it was intact, and then carefully took out the tape. The protective pin was still in place. I stood up and left Olia's room. Whether it was by providence or by curse, I hid the tape alongside the mitten at the exact moment Mom peeked into my room. Hey, please leave the Mom. Okay. It's just creepy. Anyways, Libra, did I know what? Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? I didn't know, that's why I'm asking. Maybe did you know? No, I did not know then. Yes, we don't want to be sleepy. Adults think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure classmates would like me. Well, it wouldn't help if you were just a zombie. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling to the corners. Lira is Turkish currency. I accidentally debited 1,600 lira from someone's account, of which I dabbled with a farm of cards. Previously, Steam games from Lira cost. At the exit, I received... Shit! Man, you're farming hardcore over there. God damn. Should I be knowing this? I covered myself in a blanket, read it. My inner voice had a question for me to do. I want to hear that mysterious flute again. Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of me growing up. I can fully understand my own weird desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was once my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into a slumber. It has become, after all, the day I feared the most, the first day of a new school term. Episode 2, time to play with you. Nice. Okay, we have to save here. Need to save. I keep forgetting to save. Make sure you want to overwrite this to your save. Yes. Marvelous. So that is episode 1 of Tiny Bunny. I love it. Epilepsy warning. Taylor, I totally missed that you did that because it's so high up on my screen. And did not see that. I appreciate that epilepsy warning. Big preach, brother. Next time I will do that at the beginning of the stream. Have a warning there so that way people know what to expect. At least with the epilepsy warning. I'll do the same thing in my on YouTube side too. Blah, blah, blah. Ah, the water is so good. All right, we go back. Main menu. I saved. Okay, I saved. We don't have to worry about it, lads. I saved. Good. Starting, just chatting. I like to play the song in the background as we chat. Such a nice vibe, honestly. So my thoughts on the game so far, just with the introduction chapter, amazing. It is heavy in dialogue, and that's something that that concerned me in terms of being like stream enjoyable. I on one hand enjoy it a lot. I am absolutely enjoying the hell out of this game, and I want to continue it. We'll be continuing another chapter tomorrow and playing a horror game beforehand. So we'll be doing 2 streams, I believe, tomorrow. If not, just combining it to one stream, really, you know, having fun with one game and then doing another game. Favorite languages: Nihongo, Espanol, Dutch, or Japanese, Spanish, and German. Japanese, Spanish, and German. Yo, those are some nice language right there. I do love the Japanese language and the German language a lot. Those are 2 languages I would love to learn, as well as Russian. Those 3 languages I would love to learn. It's not because there are Russians in the chat right now, but I just am fascinated with the language Russian, German, and Japanese. 3 of which I enjoy. But I want it now, Peter Griffin. No. But yeah, we'll be playing more of this tomorrow, as well as playing a short horror game. That's something I've been wanting to do, and we could just have a long stream tomorrow. So probably start around 10:30 p.m. my time, Mountain Standard Time, and end off with a good note. This, you know, and since it's Saturday, and I've been aching for a long stream, really achy for a long stream. But that is this stream, lads. Let me see how many people we got on stream. We got 3 people on stream on Twitch, so we might just do a raid. But I want it early. Jesus Christ, mate. What do you call it? Let's go ahead and exit out of this, play the music of Twitch, and move on. I'm surprised by this guy. I haven't been able to understand Russian in 18 years of my life, and he's learning more than 4 languages. Me too. I am surprised by this guy too. He is impressive, and yes, we are talking about you, Terry. You are pretty cool with how you're learning new languages the way that you are. Impressive. Well done, good sir. Short horror game. What would that be? Dreaded Flats is what I think it's called. It's a game on Steam that I purchased a couple months ago, but haven't got around to playing it. So I'm thinking of gaming that, and then moving on into the Tiny Bunny. Passively learning, but still learning nonetheless. You're still applying and taking the steps necessary to learn those languages, which is still really good. If you start learning Russian, I'll be glad, and I'm always in chat to help you, man. I would absolutely love that. Just need to find a way to learn it in terms of some classes, and then if you're in chat and if I'm confused by anything and or need help on something, I would totally love some help, because I know Russian isn't the easiest to learn either, as well as Japanese and other languages. I'm better. I'm not surprised, but I want it early. I'm better. Christ. All right, let me exit out of the game here, lads, and then open up Discord. No, I'm sorry, not Discord, but Spotify. There we go. Oh, I got trading cards. Nice. Love it. All right, I'm gonna close that out. Cool. Close this out. We're good. Okay, good. Everyone sees everything. Okay, cool. Do this, that, these. Do. All right, let me get the raid going and call it there. How do I do raid again? There we go, right there. Aha. I still have no raid. What do you call it? I still have no raid message. So we're just gonna go ahead and raid. I'm gonna raid Disturbian again. I really like him. How would you rate the episode from 1 to 10? Given that it is the introduction episode and they did lay a strong basis, I would rate it a nice 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Not because it was boring in any way or bad in any way. Only because... how do I explain this? 8 out of 10 because of... Man, it's a lot harder to explain in words when I know the feeling of it. But overall, the game is 8 out of 10, and I think it's mainly because of not a lot has happened in the episode. You know, it has set the basis, but has not really progressed too much or in giving it too much detail in the first episode, which I expected, but it's still good. I still love it. And I think 8 out of 10 is pretty high for the first episode. And I'm pretty sure it will keep going higher with each episode we get into because more will start happening, which is great. Raid me? Nah. No, forget, fuck it. Let's raid Frost. I think it's been a hot minute since we last raided him. Icy Wicey? Yeah. Share chat moderation. You can take mods. Okay. Cool. Start raid. Alright. In Russian is a sentence that is the meaning of oblique, a person, sick, mode, mows something, oblique, weight, mowing, tool, oblique, curved tool, come to your senses, it's not worth it. You just had me a whole brain fuck right there. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to screenshot that and read it later. Alright, lads. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here and chilling with me with this dialogue of basically a movie. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you, Klupse and Chippy, for being here and watching as well. Thank you, Mr. Unknown, who's watching as well. And thank you, Taylor, for being the mod into today's stream. I appreciate you, brother. And I hope to see you soon in stream and on your stream, watching more of, what do you call it? Outward. That shit's fun watching. And to those lurkers, thank you for watching too. You guys are awesome. And I hope you have a great Taylor with the 25 biddies. Brother, thank you so much for that. Did not expect that at all. But thank you very much for those biddies. And big preach, man. Big preach. Corazón para ti, wey. Corazón es para ti. No mames, wey. Que chulo que eres, wey. But yeah. You guys have a great one. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.